All right, hitting the go live button. Greetings, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday night. Let's get this weekend started off the right way with talking about super serious pony politics. Okay, we're going to leave it all on the table tonight. We've got a very interesting topic from Sazer, who will be joining us tonight. You might see in the thumbnail, he suggested Unpopular Friendship is Magic episode opinions was one of three suggestions he posted that night, and we decided to go with this one tonight. Now, I didn't have too much faith in this topic initially because I felt like we had done similar topics in the past. But when I, went to my debate team, DJ and Cordero, who are also with us tonight, and said, what should we talk about this week? They sort of gravitated towards this one, and then I put it up on Twitter and got an amazing response. So I guess we're doing this. So let's go down the list here and say hi to everybody. Sazer, thanks for suggesting this topic for tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing pleasant enough. I mean, I've got some cookies with me in case I get hungry.
Alrighty then. What kind of cookies you got?
Chunky chocolate chip, I guess.
All right, good answer. But they're not the Chips Ahoy brand, are they?
I don't believe so. No.
All right, that's good. Then those things are just far too dry. Alisia, you're joining us for the first time on the debate tonight. We've had you on Friday Night Fights before, or was it Saturday SmackDown? I can't remember. We played Among Us a few weeks ago. How are you doing tonight?
Hello. I am doing okay. Glad to be here. Hoping I do all right.
I'm sure you'll do fine. Just remember the advice I gave you before the stream. We don't need to tell everybody what it is now, but I just need you to remember what I told you.
I do, and it has been categorized.
All right, sounds good. Cordero, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Brony. I'm a little dry on scotch tonight, but I am heavy on opinions.
All right, I don't know how you can be dry on scotch. It's kind of a liquid.
I've been cutting weight.
All right, that'd do it. And DJ, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I live to annoy Brony another day.
Yep, and this is certainly going to get at least a little annoying tonight. Hopefully, we'll get some fun out of it. So, if you're just tuning in for the first time, here's how this works. We're gonna go down the line here, give our opinions. Then tonight, I'm going to be reading off, your suggestions for this topic from Discord and Twitter. So that'll be fun. And then in the last 15 minutes of the stream, while we're doing our talking, I'm going to be watching the chat. If you have any interesting comments or questions for any of us while we're talking, I'm going to copy them down in the last 15 minutes. We're going to address those in the audience participation segment. If you would like to get on this show, I'd love to have you. We just need to get you on the Patreon for as little as $1 a month, which helps me pay my bills, get videos out faster, just makes my life a lot easier. I'm especially grateful to all of my $10 and up Patreons, such as this big long list here, DJ being one of them, as well as Princess Heather Blossom, Shady Oak Ministries, Sid McConroy, Autoknight, Emerald Spencer, Sodden Girder, Senko, Kyle Christensen, Stephen A. Wilson, Wreck, Rein-Kun, Princess Sunshine Sparkle, Bootleg Bard, and Dark Malcontent, the author of the Metaverse series. They all have their own links in the description. Please check them out. And with that, let's begin. Sazer, why did you want to talk about unpopular opinions tonight?
I just like the concept of, debating. I like the... Oh, actually, before I continue, can you all hear me hear me just fine?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, just checking. I just like I like the idea of, certain opinions, like what episodes or characters that you like but everyone else seems to hate, or that you hate but everyone else seems to love. Like, I like a diversity of opinions and viewpoints, and it really is just, it's a really good way to broaden your mind. Like, I I was partially inspired by I'm sure you know who he is, Doug Walker's old top 10, was it top 10 or top 11? I think it was top 10.
11.
Top 10 movies that I hate but everyone else seems to love, as well as the follow-up top 10 films that I love but everyone else seems to hate. And I like that idea. I think it's really interesting. Like, I like hearing opinions that not many people, typically have.
All right. So, with that being said, what is your unpopular Friendship is Magic opinion?
I have quite a few, but I think one that I think would stand out. Let me see. I think probably the most unpopular would probably be that I just straight up do not like Fall Weather Friends.
Really? What's wrong with Fall Weather Friends?
Rainbow Dash is annoying. This was the episode that got me to like. Okay, Rainbow Dash for the longest time has consistently been on the bottom of my favorite characters in terms of the main six. In terms of the main six, she's consistently at the bottom. And Fall Weather Friends, I think, was one of the biggest catalysts for that, because boy, do I cannot sympathize with her at all.
All right, everybody, dogpile him. Listen, Fall Weather Friends is Season 1 Rainbow Dash being Season 1 Rainbow Dash, which she and...
You beat me to it.
Yeah, she and Applejack then proceeded to beat that type of thing out of each other. So, what were you going to not have that episode?
Applejack, the problem is Applejack, I side with Applejack too much. Like, I think she's perfectly justified.
Well, don't do that. That's something I would do. You don't want to be like me. All right. What do the rest of you guys think about Fall Weather Friends there?
Yeah, because from what I've heard, it's a very well-beloved episode from many.
I had found the episode to be entertaining. Rainbow Dash didn't really bother me. I did enjoy the fact that the show actually had them come in last place, and Twilight finish, also showing like the pacing yourself and slow and steady can win like the race type deal, which was nice, and it did impress me that that the writers let Applejack and Rainbow Dash come in last place, and that they had to repeat the running because of how many leaves were still left on the trees due to them not running on the trail in order to knock off the leaves for like the winter.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, Fall Weather Friends. Oh, did you mean from her?
Well, no, from anybody.
Yeah, that's interesting you bring up Fall Weather Friends, because I agree with Brony. I think that's kind of if you're not into Fall Weather Friends, that's kind of a Season 1 Rainbow Dash problem. The thing is, I like arrogant characters. I really like arrogant characters, especially when they're nice to other people. So whenever, I know you didn't say you didn't like Rainbow Dash or anything like that, so I'm not strawmanning you on that. But when people come at me with how much they hate Rainbow Dash, I'm always just like, man, there's so many arrogant characters that are actually awful and obnoxious, and Rainbow Dash is like a big ball of benevolence that likes to compete. So that's what I get out of her. Also, Fall Weather Friends was the episode that I admitted to myself I was a brony while watching. When I first started watching the show, what's that, episode 9, episode 11 or something in Season 1? I think.
Can't remember the exact number.
I can remember the screenshot.
Season 1, episode 16, I believe.
16 is farther than I thought. I can remember the screenshot. It's when Rainbow Dash, Wile E. Coyote slingshots herself to get ahead of Rainbow Dash because she can't use her wings. And the face she makes flying through the air, that shit-eating grin of I've got you, you piece of shit, as she's about to fly past Rainbow Dash. It was just a perfect look on her face, and I'm like, all right, I'm a brony. I'm all in on this show. That was the moment for me.
Correction, not 16, 13.
I was about to say 16 was 16 definitely Sonic Rainboom.
Yeah, I got those mixed up. Sorry.
Yeah, I was close to 11.
The episode, I don't hate this episode necessarily. It's not the worst, because it has its qualities, as you guys have pointed out. There is some good stuff in it. I'm just not a fan. I really don't like that they just sort of let Rainbow Dash go scot-free from cheating.
I wouldn't say that either, because she came in last.
Not during the race. Not during the race. During the Iron Pony competition.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that was a different thing though.
Yeah, because like that was before the race, and like that there did slightly annoy me that
Yeah.
that like a Twilight or Spike that was watching this didn't call that out when they could see it happening.
I remember thinking that.
yeah, that
I think they should have established with each other earlier on if that was going to be a problem that like, hey, you can't use your wings, or let's see if you can do this without using your wings. But if they didn't explicitly state that, then it's not technically in the rules. So if you can use your wings, you might as well use your wings. DJ, I haven't
That's the
heard.
biggest load of
That
bull
is a
crud I've ever heard.
That's the kind of thing I would do. Okay, if you don't explicitly tell me there's a rule, I'm going to exploit that as a loophole.
As a rules lawyer, I would have to agree with that.
It makes
If
sense.
you have an
yeah.
advantage, you exploit it. That's just how competition works.
I could name dozens of things that's wrong with that.
Right, but we got to move on here. DJ, I haven't heard from
let's
you
move
yet.
on.
Did you have anything to say?
I can't really defend the episode since I found it pretty meh.
All right, so DJ, now that I'm on you, why don't you tell us your unpopular opinion?
Well, it extends past that episode. My unpopular pony opinion is season 1 is the most boring out of the entire show.
I'm leaving. I won't stand for this.
Oh, well, you're definitely wrong on that one, but what makes you say it?
A lot of it is kind of a rehash of every show I've grown up with. It's kind of the same plots, and a lot of them are pretty basic, especially when you have ones like Ticketmaster, Apple Book Season.
Yeah, but unlike
there are some
3 and
gems in
4.
season 1, but a lot of it to me is pretty boring.
yeah, but unlike other shows,
Oh, the one that bored me the most, Swarm of the Century.
I didn't like Storm of the Century.
That one was boring.
Not because it was boring. I just didn't like it.
Well, I was watching that episode trying to figure out like, oh, how are they gonna get around this? Like, unlike every other show that's had similar premises to the episodes, is that Friendship is Magic actually did them good, and then had something constructive to say about the lessons after it. And a lot of the times it came down to like they would do the tropes, but they would come off as parody. And they definitely had a level of self-awareness, and you get all the classic character building gags, like right off the top of my head, Pinky keeping up with Rainbow Dash going Mach 10 while doing the freaking Pepe Le Pew skip.
I love that.
The slapstick
for
was
that-
through the roof in season 1.
Oh, it was. And the reason for that is
I totally
my
agreed.
Yeah, My Little Pony was closer to a traditional cartoon in season 1. Like it really hit the stride of the show we think of it as being at the end of season 1 and into season 2. You think about all those Ticketmaster and Swarm of the Century. Those are like classic cartoon story slice of life storyline setups that we've seen in many other cartoons, and they just put the pony twist on it. And of course the main 6 are charming and engage us, which is what got the bronies to begin with. Hashtag 2010. I'm out of 2010.
2011 here. I think.
But I think the 2012 for me. I think the it being the boring season. I think that comes out of it that it was slower paced and it was more like a traditional 90s or 2000s cartoon at that point, or closer to.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that. I mean, I do totally see where you're coming from when you say it's the most boring. It is the most traditional. It is the start. It is the show trying to find its ground and trying to find out what works and what doesn't. And like you said, it is more mundane. But it's also very, it has its own charm. I still have a strong nostalgia for it. I still watch it and like it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it just really works. It's just very, like you said, it has a very classic children's cartoon vibe. I will give you this, DJ. Season 1 definitely had the weakest morals, and by which I don't mean like any of them were really wrong, but they were definitely good foundations. Things that
Obvious.
They're obvious, they're basic, but that's us looking at them like adults. Like a kid might actually be able to watch like Griffin the Brush Off, and like if I'm a parent watching it with my kid, I can go to her and say, if when you run into a situation like Gilda, react like Rainbow Dash, and that's good to know. But if they had done that level of moral analysis for 9 seasons straight, it would have definitely stagnated by the end of season 2. People ask me all the time to write more episodes for season 1, and I'm like, I can't. There's nothing to write. It's there. They just explicitly state the entire depth at the end of the episode. Cordero, what is your unpopular opinion?
My unpopular opinion is that M.A. Larson did nothing wrong. Princess Twilight at the Ascension at the end of season 3 was fine, great, nothing wrong with it. Y'all were whiners in 2013, and people are still whiners today.
That's the Nuremberg defense, okay? He was kind of forced in that position and just following orders.
I mean, but those were good orders. He was ordered to do something good, and then he did it.
That was I will retain that until the day I die. that Twi'lek was the biggest tail pull of the entire series and should have probably never happened, or at least not until the very end of season 9.
No, and actually, in retrospect, it's vital. That is actually vital to how the show went, and the reason is turning back the clock to 2013 to when that happened. The one minor point that people had against Princess Twilight that everyone took way too far was, it looks like you did this too early. And too early because this seemed like the kind of thing that you would end a show on. Like this would be the passing of the torch, and then the show ends.
It was that's what it was initially intended to be. Everybody thought that was the end of the show,
which would make sense. But once they made that decision, so okay, she's going to become a princess now. Now they had the conundrum of you have to adjust, you have to raise the stakes, and you have to find new goals for the show to go to. So actually, because Princess Twilight becomes a thing at the end of season 3, it actually splits the show into, it's almost like I prepared this. It actually splits the show into 3 sagas, or 3 periods: early, mid, and late My Little Pony. The 3 sagas. The first saga is the Princess Twilight Ascension saga, where she earns and becomes a princess. The middle saga is the Starlight Glimmer saga, where she goes from villain to redemption to now she is the student and Twilight is the mentor. And then there's late My Little Pony, where they add the new cast at the pony school, and they add and they branch out Equestria to become even more diverse and spread friendship everywhere to all the races. So in order to have those 3 sagas, now when you look back on it, you couldn't do that unless Twilight was made a princess at the end of the first saga. So now that we can look back into retrospect, it's like, not only was it a good decision, but the show wouldn't be the show without it. It would be a completely different show, but they gave us something great with that decision. And at the time, I trusted them to take that Princess Twilight and give us a good return on it. And guess what? 6 seasons later, I was 100% correct. So I was right then, and I'm right now. And everyone was wrong then, and you're wrong now.
All right, somebody back me up on this.
I'm just in too much of a shock that someone else has put the show into 3 categories, and they're the exact same markers that I had.
DJ, that is the exact opposite of what I just told you to do.
Well, I mean, when do I ever do exactly what you want me to do?
When do you ever do anything remotely close to what I want you to do? All right, what else do we got, guys? Who else wants to say something to Cordero's opinion?
I mean, I can't really agree or disagree. I think for the most part, here's the thing: when it first happened, when Twilight was first, made, a princess in Alicorn, I was actually very optimistic. I was very open. I'm like, okay, cool. And I think by that point, it was already confirmed. I think it was already confirmed that season 4 was happening, and I figured, okay, cool, she's going to be a princess. This opens the door to a lot of new episode opportunities, and they somewhat pulled it off, but at the same time, for most of season 4, they pretty much did not acknowledge it at all. And I think that was a bit of I think that was where they kind of dropped the ball.
Season 4 is the weakest season.
Is sort of. That's a hot take in of itself.
Well, because that's one of the only ones with no episodes that I don't like.
Well, because for one season, Brony and all of the Princess Twilight haters were almost correct, because it looked like they didn't know what to do with Princess Twilight for a whole season. And then they came up with Starlight Glimmer, and they saved the show with the Starlight Glimmer arc, because you had to make Twilight a mentor. She had to transition from student to mentor in order to make the princess thing work. And that worked from Starlight Glimmer on. So season 4, the Rainbow arc and all of that treasure finding thing was kind of fun and cool, but to me it's the weakest season, because it's that middle a whole season transitioning 2 of the sagas that I mentioned, and so that's where it started sputtering a bit. But again, they picked it back up.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it is the ultimate result of trying to combine a ongoing story arc versus just a traditional slice of life episodic format, which it can be done, but it is really tricky to do. And I think they did okay for the most part, but I think they have fallen short on some areas.
I think if they had gotten Starlight Glimmer in season 4, if they'd started it sooner, it would have shut up the Princess Twilight hater sooner, because we would have gotten that saga transition.
I don't know. I think there still would have been a lot of complainers.
There would have been a lot of complaints, but they had a whole season of a victory lap of, see, they don't know what they're doing. The show's tail spinning. So they had a whole season of ammo before the show finally figured out what to do with Princess Twilight.
I mean, to their defense, I think it was sort of planned out, because at the very end of the season, I mean, Twilight even herself says, "What do I do? What is the point? Like, I'm a princess of what?"
True, they did address it.
They do address it, but that doesn't make the problem go away.
It doesn't, but that was a good way to address it. It's like, hey, we don't know exactly what we want to do. Let's make that a point of contention. Like I said, season 4 doesn't completely fall apart. It's just the weakest season.
All right. Let's move on here, because we got a lot of ground to cover. Alisia, what is your unpopular opinion?
My unpopular opinion would probably be that that I cannot stand a health of information, and I've listened to it at least once or twice, because I cannot really watch it because for other reasons. But I don't think the message was delivered very good involving the scenario. It like irritates me some, so it's like I don't like that episode.
All right, tell me why, because that's one of my favorites in season 7.
It doesn't make sense logically to me that if like your friend is like dying with the undetermined length of a clock ticking, you're not going to be willingly wanting to really sleep proper, rest, and make sure you eat like right while trying to find a cure. You're not going to do those things to take care of yourself while trying to find a cure. While like you're doing that, you could find your friend dead because of Tree-mageddon.
Well, that's the whole message of the episode. It's the same thing as when you get on an airplane. They tell you, if something goes wrong and the oxygen masks come down, you got to get yours on before you get somebody else's on. Because if you pass out while trying to get somebody else's mask on because you didn't put yours on first, well, now we've got more unconscious or possibly dead people. That's the message, is you do everything you can. But you can only do so much, and you have to know your limits, because otherwise you become useless. You're no good to anybody if you exhaust yourself and put yourself in a position where you can't solve a problem, because now you're just hurting yourself on. And then I mean, it's a morbid reality of which we live in. But if you at your best couldn't do anything in time to save your friend, then there was nothing you could have done in the first place, which is, and I've been there. That's a very difficult position to be in, but that's why that I think that episode is so good. Does anybody else have anything they want to say about it?
This is an episode. I've got something to say. This is an episode that I feel have very strong opinions on, because for the most part, I do agree with you, Alisia. I do I don't know if this is necessarily a hot take, because I know quite a number of people that also didn't have had issues with it as well. I mean, here's the weird thing. It's an episode that I really like this episode, despite how horribly flawed it is. Because, like you said, like the lesson, it's a good lesson, but I don't think this is the best place. Like, this is like one of the situations where it's not applicable because, like you said, like if someone is essentially dying and there's only one way to cure it, and they never specified how much time they have. So I don't think I'd be able to sleep or rest with knowing that every tick could be the end of my friend's life forever. And I mean, they also never specified if it was reversible after the fact that she turns into a tree or whatever. I don't think that was never specified. There's also other things like the fact that Mage Meadowbrook like for some reason didn't write the solution to getting the honey in her journal or anything. I don't know how that's the case. And
she must have died while carving it.
And also the fact that and it's also the fact that Twilight is taking this surprisingly well. Like she seems very chill with this, which is funny because
too calm. And also with like the airplane thing, your mask falling from the roof is faster to put on than trying to find a thing while someone is on like an unknown ticking timer.
Oh, that's an analogy. You know what I meant.
And and it's so funny that Twilight is taking this so well because at the end of that very same season, she and her friends, study endlessly to try to figure out how to get the Pillars of Equestria out of limbo, despite the fact that there's no time limit on that.
And she's
pretty sure
like,
Silverpool made a joke about that.
Days.
Yeah, he did.
3 days without really sleeping either, I think.
Yeah, I know, and that's what's so weird about it. But I still like the episode because, like, the stuff that it does right, I think it really does right. Like, I call me a sadist all you want, but I actually kind of like the whole. I like this whole very raw Fluttershy suffering in a way because, like, it gives this show, it gave the show a bit of dread and I don't know. It's the bit of edge that the show kind of needed because I think for the most part the main six have been at least at that point anyway mostly been devoid of harm, and this one it's like it shows we're not afraid to hurt our characters.
No, you're not supposed to like anything that brings Fluttershy distress as a brony. Fluttershy is the friendship is magic equivalent of an anime waifu that must be protected at all costs.
Yeah, I mean, I like
then
Fluttershy, but
die.
Yeah, but I like Fluttershy, but I don't like it when any characters seem to have plot armor where just nothing hurts them. And I mean, this kind of touching back on the whole season 1 thing. Season 1 definitely and season 2 definitely had way more slapstick, and I think as the show went on, they sort of cut back on that, and I miss that.
Yeah, so do I. All right, let's, now that we've covered the co-hosts' unpopular opinions, let's get to the Discord server for the people that actually pay me to care about their opinions.
The peanut gallery.
Yep. So let's go over here. I got to go to OBS, and I think I got to click this button right here, and that takes us to the Discord, where we see from Spencer Emerald. He says, Fluttershy Leans In is a boring and redundant episode that only serves to give Fluttershy her sanctuary at the cost of a compelling or original story, and thus, in my opinion, is the worst episode of Friendship is Magic. I wouldn't go this far, but
I wouldn't say that's an unpopular opinion, because I know a number of people that thought it was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought roughly the same thing the first time I was watching this. I was just kind of going through it like, the world doesn't work like that. These animals are going to eat each other if you put them out in open space like that. And then it all just kind of worked out with little to no conflict. And I just sort of had to make peace with the fact that it wasn't really supposed to be an episode realistic. And it wasn't, well, realistic is one word. I was going to say an episode with a real conflict. It was just supposed to show the character growth of Fluttershy and what that meant for the series as a whole.
I'll agree that the episode itself is not great. Definitely one of the lesser episodes of the season because, like you said, it feels a little bit out of nowhere. Like they felt like, oh, we got to give Fluttershy some sort of end goal. She wanted a sanctuary all along, and also the fact that in the end their solution was just have your friends help you. And like, why didn't you just do that from the start?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and like her communication of like describing of what like she wanted wasn't exactly clear like either. So the professional's behavior kind of annoyed me a little bit, but and it's just like good gumma. Okay, we know how this is gonna go. All right, let's just move along and get to the solution here at the very end. We're realizing exactly what we needed at the very start, which should have been obvious.
I felt
Alrighty.
really bad for the construction contractors.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fluttershy's a client's inability to communicate, especially with all the installs I have done. Oh my god, it's the worst when the client doesn't know what they want, and then they blame you for not reading their mind. I was against Fluttershy on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I don't think she actually used like the word like animal sanctuary either. It was just like
No.
this here. I don't even think like she called it a sanctuary. Did like she's because I remember like her description. It's just like could you better word what you're wanting them to do?
yeah.
Chateau du Animal.
And
So I don't know if that's an unpopular episode. I think that's a more popular opinion. I think.
and
It's
real
not
quick,
uncommon, I guess.
real quick, shameless self promotion here, guys. What you're looking at here is the Canterlot Academy Discord server. This is the symposium where we talk and debate politics. I was just in here earlier today spamming conservative memes. So join the Patreon if you want to hang out with us and see stuff like that. And with that, we're gonna move on to Twitter. All right. So holy heck. I forgot to put the word morning when I greeted the Brony fandom today. That's embarrassing. So here, learn this lesson.
Did you just say good, everyone? Hey,
I
good,
said-
everyone.
I said good hashtag Brony, and I meant to say morning, but like I think what happened was I wrote morning and then I was over the character limit, so I like backspaced and fixed it up and then forgot to put the word morning back in. This is why you don't make tweets while you're multitasking
Brony.
at
Oh
work.
my god.
I have to
Good
do it.
Brony fandom. Good job. You made a Brony today.
Okay. So, let's just go down this list here and see what we got. Fellow patron Trent says Dragon Quest was a good episode. Does anybody really disagree?
Wait, hold on. What was that again?
Trent says Dragon Quest was a good episode, and I think there's a couple of people that
No.
said roughly the same. No, why wasn't
No.
Dragon Quest a good episode?
It was good.
Dragon Quest was awful.
Why?
Okay. I won't say it's the worst episode, but I will say this: if I were to make like a top 10 most disappointing episodes of Friendship's Magic, this would be number one. I really did not like this episode.
All right, tell me why so I can browbeat you.
It basically like it started this unfortunate trend that just dragons just in general are just inherently bad people. It sort of gave off the vibe that the message almost came off as if you're masculine, you're a bad person. Like masculinity bad, feminism good, and also just the fact. I mean, there's so many other things. Like for example, like the fact that Spike's friends just sort of openly mocked and teased him for having feminine tastes and so quote unquote undragon-like. Stuff like I'm not like other dragons. Of course not. But why would you want to? And like that comes off as kind of insulting. And when this episode was first coming out, I was hyped. I was so excited. I was like, oh, cool. We get to learn about Spike's backstory. We get to see other dragons and how they interact with each other. We get to learn about their culture. And it was just the most
sometimes culture is like that, and then later series we showed that like they admitted that parts of that culture was no good, and they sort of grew past it. We had a very unfortunate episode where Garble was reading freaking slam poetry in a beret, and I wanted to choke slam him.
Oh yeah, Garble sucks. Like, okay, okay. Speaking of hot takes, my least favorite character in the entire show is Flim and Flam, but Garble is a very close second. I really hate this character, and
I actually enjoy Flim and Flam. They are very charismatic, although I was not a fan of them in Friendship University. Friendship University. I can talk.
University.
Yeah.
Yes.
Universally.
That's quite
yeah.
University. There
otherwise known as FU.
Exactly. They didn't feel quite right in there. It just kind of felt very fake or something. Like, I don't know. It just didn't feel very organic with them. It's like, eh.
I kind of wish Trent was. I kind of wish Trent was here because I really want him to hear him defend this episode.
Okay, so since he's not here, let me defend this episode. We needed that to show where Spike sort of fit in to the whole thing. That he was kind of coming to terms with the fact that I'm going to say your race does not determine your personality, and that you can relate to people that are not like you, like the way he was with the egg that later became Pip. Was it Pipsqueak?
Pee-wee.
Pee-wee. Thank you very much. Yeah, with the egg that became his Phoenix pet for a while, and
which they did nothing with.
And they did nothing with, but that doesn't mean the episode is bad. That doesn't negate from the episode if Spike was able to relate to something that wasn't like him, showing that it's not about your race or about, your culture. It's a nature versus nurture thing, where nurture comes out on top, and your personal responsibility and your choices as an individual matter a lot more than factors you can't control, factors that you were born with. Those I forgot the word for it. Those factors.
You're basically saying what matters is who you are, not what you are.
Exactly.
And I get that sentiment, but I don't think it works very well because, like I said at the beginning, Spike's motive friends just openly mocked him and just didn't seem to care for him much. So it's it sucks that Spike's is wanting to hang out with these rude, mean dragons, but were his friends much better?
But it's like that sometimes, though. It's
it
realistic.
Is like that
people pick on each other. There's very little differences between my friends and I, but we still find stuff to rag on each other for. Doesn't mean the love isn't there.
And also, just in terms of world building, I think this just really hurt the show because it just really, again, I don't like the idea that just the dragons are all just, and even just as bullies, they're just so not fun. They're not entertaining. They're not interesting or anything. They're just so one-note bland bullies, and I.
Did you not get bullied as a kid? Because I found that kind of relatable.
Yeah.
No, I didn't go to public school because my parents knew better.
Okay, that's nice. But God, I'm gonna sound like Peter New here. You're privileged. You didn't have that experience, so I can understand.
Whoa.
I can understand why you wouldn't relate to it. All right, but I've been through what Spike went through. Okay, that's generally called having an older brother.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm not saying I want to relate to the bullies. No, I just didn't. But they just had nothing going for them. They're not entertaining by any means. It's just bland.
All right. Does anybody else have anything they want to say about Dragon Quest before we move on?
It was good. I think it was fine.
Fine.
They do tend to shoehorn a lot of dragon characters into the one-note bully characters. But fortunately, anytime that they went out of their way to flesh out a dragon character, it's a top tier character, which implies that there's a lot of good dragons out there. Blue tsundere dragon girl whose name escapes me at the moment.
Ember.
Little orange dragon who's I can't remember any names. But yeah, anytime you get a named dragon character who develop, to me that implies that they are a diverse culture, and from their personalities, I get the feeling that dragons are good-natured but rough around the edges, which actually makes them more interesting. But they're rough around the edges in a different way than, say, griffins are, because griffins are also a very aggressive and forward race, but in a different way. And so I like that. And I think they gave us just enough. Yeah,
dragons
I think they gave us just enough
griffins are
to
greedy.
know. Exactly. I think they gave us just enough of those good dragon characters to say, okay, I can extrapolate that their culture is not just these high bullies.
Yeah, that is true, but that's more. That was more after the fact, because for a while, like seasons worth, this episode basically just gave the impression that just dragons are just bad people, and Spike should never be like them at all. And I don't like that message because especially given that it's masculine versus feminine, it sort of gives the false impression that if you're masculine, you're automatically a bad guy, and that is not true.
They never said masculinity anywhere in that episode.
They never did, but given the
they did give dragons a lot of masculine tropes.
Yeah, they did.
They gave dragons a lot of sociopathic, abusive tropes. I would not have called those masculine.
I know, and it took. I know, and it's that's. I know that's. I don't. I can tell that's what they. I can tell that's not what they were going for, but that is the vibe that I get.
There was a lot of flexing and pissing contest with dragons, which is thought to be like male traits to have I'm better than you or that, but those are thought to.
And we did not just get done talking about Fall Weather Friends, where two women did the exact same thing.
That's true, because what Friendship is Magic did is Lauren Faust basically said, I'm going to take 6 characters that are basically boys and then just make them girls at the last minute. There's a hot take.
Yeah, I believe that's true. And it's not the worst episode ever, though I probably would say it's in my top 5.
It's because being
top 10,
competitive,
I know for sure.
Being competitive is not an explicitly masculine or feminine trait. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we gotta move on here.
Move on.
Okay, so Autumn Breeze has like every time I say, hey, I need topic suggestions, Autumn Breeze comes in with this one. So I'm glad she's getting on the show now. Spike and Gabby became a couple by the time of the last problem and had a kid, and no one will ever be able to convince me otherwise, and then shares me this meme for the 50th time. She even said it in the comments of this chat I saw earlier. So we've got Spike here, and then we've got this griffin that kind of looks like Spike sitting in the School of Friendship. What do we think?
I
think watch out, that's headcanon. It's on the
It is a headcanon, but it's a headcanon that I can honestly get behind, because Gabby's probably the best, I guess, girlfriend.
Let me share my screen to the Discord here, and maybe you guys will be able to keep up with me a little easier. So yeah, what do we think about this meme?
Is that a griffin dragon, baby?
It certainly looks like a griffin, or maybe a hippogriff.
Oh, wait, no. I don't think that's a griffin. I think that's a hippogriff.
Hippogriff could be.
But still, I will agree with Autumn Breeze that Spike and Gabby do make a good couple.
But we did just establish that Spike is more pony than dragon, so it would make sense if this thing would come out a hippogriff.
Huh.
I mean, wouldn't it be similar to
Remember, children, it's not racist if it's true.
What race was the mailman?
Dragon plus griffin. Wouldn't it be relatively closer to a hippogriff in some ways?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
It depends on which gene is more dominant, because sometimes the female gene can be more dominant than the male with some characteristics.
You gotta watch out for those recessive hippogriff genes.
Yeah, remember the time 2 Earth ponies had a unicorn and Pegasus twins?
Mm-hmm.
Because magic.
Yeah, I don't think genetics are a thing in Equestria. So
remember when they made a joke about that for the adults?
Yeah.
I
also
that makes sense, right?
I also think this is coincidence, and there's no way I could pull a 1-hour discussion out of this. I've already said everything I could say about it.
To be fair, it's a screenshot. It's a pretty incriminating screenshot, which is more than a lot of headcanons have. I'll give him that.
All right. Let's go back.
It's got story potential, at least.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. You're right, DJ. I'll give you that. I would read that fan fiction. Okay.
Yeah.
Sazer Light, you're already on my show. So the one where Pinkie Pie knows is funny. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say it wasn't funny.
I've heard a number of people thought it was unfunny and repetitive, and thought it's just the same joke over and over again. I thought it was hilarious.
Did they not keep to rule of threes in that one? I don't think they
It was the episode where Pinky is, suffering, trying to
Yeah, I know which
trying
episode
to
we're
keep a
talking
secret.
about.
Yeah,
But
trying to keep a secret
generally,
about
generally, when you're
Oh.
talking from a writing standpoint, you've got the rule of 3. So weren't there like 3 challenges, and she had to try to hold it in through that whole challenge?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
because
was.
she knew about the baby and no one else did.
Yeah, and that,
Right.
yeah, and
Well,
that
the
was.
whole town knew, and like she like knew, and like I thought like that their episode was like pretty entertaining. That like I chuckled some that like
I
I
don't-
really enjoyed like the range of expressions, as well as the secret thing from like Rarity coming back to her that she did to Twilight.
Again, I think this is kind of sadistic of me, but I think part of the reason why I found it so entertaining and so funny is because, like as she was suffering through this, I just wanted to just say to her, "Now you know how it feels," in reference to Green Isn't Your Color,
Yes.
where Pinky gave Twilight so much crap for trying to keep a secret.
That yeah, like I found that very very refreshing. That's why when Rarity did that to Pinky, since Pinky did that to Twilight, it's like yes.
It's some good old catharsis.
We
She should just
also
run out of
proved
town for a day.
that Pinky is stronger than Twilight, because Twilight caved at the end of Green Isn't Your Color.
Yeah.
Ah,
It did prove
Very
Pinky is
true.
immortal too. I don't
a
think
lot of
Twilight
things
can break
prove
into
Pinky is
pieces.
Immortal.
Wasn't she also shown to be basically a balloon from like
Oh,
Season
jeez.
3.
All right, so next up is Rainbow Staraki Dash saying, "I don't hate Flash Sentry."
Me either.
Me either.
I don't hate him.
I
I
don't
don't hate
mind
him
him.
either. I don't mind him either. I
And-
think the first movie did not do him any favors, but he did get better.
Flashlight is the only canon ship. Not even the
Flashlight
cakes. The
is
cakes
kinda-
No,
aren't.
that's a hot take.
The cakes aren't even canon.
No, I would say Flash. What was it? What's it
Flash
called?
Set. Flash
No.
Set is also canon.
Yeah. Flash Set. I would say that over Flashlight.
I do like Flash Set a lot,
Yeah, Flashlight I think is better.
and there's no reason for them to not get back together later, which they started hinting towards in Equestria Girls, but they
Yeah,
didn't.
I want to
they
see.
didn't
I
publish
want to
it, though.
see that harem rivalry between Derpy and Sunset Shimmer and Princess Twilight.
Yeah.
That's that. I'd watch.
Where's that
anime.
fanfic?
I don't know, but I think I might have to get to writing here. We've got
Did you
another.
s-
We've got another one for Dragon Quest by Soundwave. But what were you about to say, Cordero?
Did you see what they did to Flash Sentry near the end of Equestria Girls?
Oh God, with that music video.
You knew where I was going, cheering for you.
Oh my God, I wanted to rip my
how do you-
ears off.
How can you do that to a man?
No, yeah,
That's the most emasculating song I've ever seen in my
I
life.
know, right?
Like
He had such character potential, and they turned him into such a. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna become a 4chaner for a split second here. Beta. Yeah. Well, I was thinking
I'm
it,
glad
but
I missed this song.
yeah. Thank you for saying the word I didn't want to say on live.
I'm just here to cheer you on. It's basically a song about how I just like to watch. Like it's literally turns him into a giant cuckold. Like, oh, go save the day. I like you.
And then he went home and spent $30 to get his super chat read by a VTuber.
Yeah, he pays for her OnlyFans. Oh my God, because he couldn't even do the one thing. They gave him one thing to do in the music video, and that's Sunset dropped her amulet, her thing that helps her power up, and all he was gonna do was just run and scoop it up and hand it to her. They couldn't even let him have that. He failed to do that. Rainbow Dash had to come over and pick it off of his corpse because he got struck down. It's like, really? You couldn't even throw him. You started to throw him a bone and then stepped on him on that.
I don't
Good
remember
lord!
if
I
I've
would
ever seen
rather
this.
have watched a song about Flash Sentry asking Sunset to step on him. Make that song. Step on me, mommy.
Oh.
That'd have been a better song.
Okay. Oh, geez. This is why I gotta have Cordero on. He's willing to go. Him and I are on the same wavelength, but he's willing to say the things I'm not willing to say.
Exactly.
All right.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
I don't have
Nelson.
Patreons to lose.
Well, no. I just. Oh, geez. Never mind. I'm just a prude. That's my problem. I don't give a frick. Rainbow Fall from Nelson Demifer, who's been watching my stuff since I started, says Rainbow Falls is cursed. I have no idea what he means by that. Rarity and Spike needed romantic W's. Okay, so
Wins.
yeah, even if not with each other. Well, we just got done talking about how the green and purple griffin over there. The Tree of Harmony have been given new elements to the student. Should have given new elements to the student 6. We needed to see more of the pair family, and Daring Do and Arc ended poorly. Holy heck, we got a lot.
Yes, it did.
All right. I'll go through these one by one. Rainbow Falls is cursed. I think what he's saying is he's either talking about the episode Rainbow Falls is cursed, or the fact that Rainbow Falls as a location is cursed. Because whenever we have an episode centered on there, it's not particularly well received. Rarity and Spike need more romantic wins. I somewhat agree. I think Spike definitely has something going for him with Gabby, as we've discussed before. Rarity, like I just don't think she can find anyone that's for her. I don't think she can, and I think the finale kind of implies that she's just happily single. Because there was
a strip in one of the IDW comics that they like gave her a flashback. It was tangentially related that she was talking about a bad date she was on, and then they flashed back to the date, and it was like 3 panels of her just talking this dude's ear off while a full 12-inch candle dwindled to nothing.
Huh.
At a dinner table.
That's a funny idea.
Yeah.
As for and with each other, yeah, I will agree that their relationship was not great because it was very one-sided. Tree of Harmony should have given new elements to the new student 6. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that.
Did the Tree of Harmony change how that worked? Like instead of because the elements got absorbed and then the tree was destroyed. It changed so many times, but I think the way it ended up, the way that magic worked is instead of the magic of friendship being imbued in the elements and you need 6 specific carriers to activate it, I think by the end of the show, the magic of friendship could be realized by pretty much anyone in Equestria who had good friendship. And like I think it could be accessed by almost anyone at that point. Wasn't that the point of the...
I think it was, but real quick here, Nelson is in the chat, and he says he means the location of Rainbow Falls. So every time we go to Rainbow Falls, something horrible happens.
That is a lie.
That's right.
Because the Christmas special was great.
Well, okay, that part, yeah. Well, that's the one exception. I'll agree. That Christmas special was pretty good.
What is Christmas? Are you talking about
Hearts warming up?
Let's not go there.
Yeah. We needed to see more of the pair family. I agree. We should have seen
more of the Orange family while we were at it too.
Yeah, Orange family as well. We should have learned more about Applejack's, parents and other parents and relatives and whatnot before the perfect pair happened.
And the Apricot family, they're giraffes.
Sure, I'll let you have it.
The Daring Do arc ended poorly. I totally agree. I think it ended very poorly. I think I'm like, this is a kind of might be an unpopular opinion in of itself. I think making Daring Do and her world real was a bad move.
100% agree. Everything IRL Daring Do was bad.
I disagree.
Except for the Daring Do fandom. The Daring Do fandom was more fun than IRL Daring Do.
Okay, there are some fun jabs and jokes at the fandom as a result, but just in terms of the world and how it works and everything, it's just it raises so many questions.
Yeah, I hated Daring Do being real. I'm like, why? This isn't better or fun. This didn't add anything. I'm 100% on board with that one.
It basically doubly confirmed that there is no such thing as fiction in this world.
Yeah, if it's in a book, that means it happened. Everything is a biography.
I personally find that very fascinating.
I thought it was a cool twist. I never saw it coming, so I was like, yeah, this is cool. I didn't expect this. More, please.
I thought it was kind of cool too at first, but as time went on, I began to realize that, yeah, a lot of this is starting to not make sense.
I'll give you this, though. The one where they introduced Somnambula, I think it was Daring Done, or that was
Daring Don't, I think.
Yeah, Daring Don't or Daring Done. It was one of those two. That one, Daring Do just went out like a little filly. Like that, she should have been tougher than that.
I think that was Daring. I think that was Daring Done, because I think Daring Don't was involving Quibble Pants.
No. Here's the thing. Daring Done, yes, is that episode. Daring Don't is when is when Daring Do was first revealed to be real, and that episode you're talking about,
Oh.
and that one with Quibble Pants is Stranger Than Fan Fiction.
What's the last
Oh,
one?
okay. Wait.
My
Okay.
favorite one was Daring Doesn't, where she just where it's just 30 minutes of her sitting at her typewriter.
But yeah. Most of the episodes, I mean, that one was okay with Quibble Pants, but the other episodes, like I think all of them were not very good, and especially that last one, Daring Doubt. Yeah, the way that concluded.
Doubt. That's
the last one.
I like the first one and the one with Quibble Pants though, so it's kind of 2 for 2 with me.
Yeah, and this is a bit sad because I really liked what was it called? Read It and Weep, where we first know about Daring Do and everything. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good episode.
Yeah, like that was a neat one. With like that Tree of Harmony and the Student 6 getting their own elements. I think it was kind of nice of them, of it kind of demonstrating that other creatures can harness that same power with a strong enough friendship. I thought like that was nice, so I didn't mind them knocking like brand new elements to them.
I don't think it would have worked if they got new elements. They would have just created another MacGuffin to replace the originals. Something else to rely on.
And the Brony Phantom would have been like, I like the elements of harmony better. Because
I think I kind of like the way they handled it because it made it a little more open, more vague about, and not limited to just 6 specific traits.
Yep, and then like it was also a nice little early showing for like a season 9 of like Twilight harnessing the power of friendship without the elements.
All right, let's move on here. Herman Kilo or Co, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm pretty sure he's in the chat as well. I saw his name a couple of times, but he says Flashlight is a good ship. I agree.
Agreed.
I don't know what Floody Cord is, but Floody Cord is the best ship. Oh no, that's a horrible ship.
It's
and
an interesting one.
I'm aware that it may very well be canon, but like I still think it's a horrible idea. I think Fluttershy settled, and I think Discord is undeserving.
Oh, that's right.
Not if you ask Pony Life.
Yeah, but I don't want to ask Pony Life. I want to ask something with a good art style and well-written characters.
Flashlight is an okay ship, but there are definitely better ones. Fluttercord, I have mixed feelings on Fluttercord because some of it I do like. I think it is really nice, but there are other parts where I'm not quite so sure. For the most part, I think I am okay with it, but I could definitely see why some people would be concerned. So.
Yep, and Rainbow Dash and Applejack are just close friends who support each other and aren't in a relationship. Thank you. Holy frick! It's like season 9 closed up, and everybody's like the shipping, and it's like do you people just not have friends? Do you not I mean, shoot, I had Cordero in my house a couple of days ago helping me with some chores. Is that Cordero? Were we dating and I didn't know?
I don't know. It's pretty gay, man.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Get that trash out of here.
I'm okay either way involving I'm okay either way with Rainbow Dash and Applejack. Like I don't care. Either way they could be dating or just like roommates. I don't care so long as like they're not trying to updo the other with if like they cannot actually handle it. given the age at the end of 9 when we see them.
It still sounds like they're outdoing each other a little bit.
I don't really care. I don't really care either way.
I'm on the shipping side.
I mean, I'll give it this. It's better than Rarajack.
Definitely.
Yeah,
another hot take. I don't.
That's
like
where Equestria Girls comes in.
That's Rarajack is worst ship. That's my hot take.
I don't think it's worship. I think it's fun.
Yes.
It's worship.
I'm not a fan of Rarajack.
I think most main
so
6 pairings
overrated.
I think most main 6 pairings are suboptimal.
Here's the thing: if you're going to ship the main 6, don't ship the main 6. We've got enough male characters. All right, so
Yeah,
let's
right.
see here. And
Featherweight.
you know something? Let me just say this real quick. I was, as a concept, against Rarejack, and then but like I'm living it right now myself. So it's possible, but I still hate it. Anyway, the foil guy. Every episode of MLP, without exception, those are some strong words, is based on or establishes its moral and theme after biblical themes.
I
I
don't
most-
know the Bible well enough to be able to
I
say
most-
one way or the other, so I have no idea.
I
This is-
mostly agree. I would have to look through every episode and see if I could come up with something. For the most part, I would say I agree, but I would have to look through every episode and
The majority of my moral of the story scripts are taken from or at least, loosely inspired by various aspects of scripture, depending on, however, and whether or not I state it explicitly in the video is another thing, but yeah, you can watch moral of the story knowing that. But go ahead, Cordero.
This is the mildest of takes disguised as a hot take. To the point where it's not even interesting. Saying that every MOP theme or moral is based on the Bible. It's like, well, yeah, because the morals are for children, and the morals that you teach children are the most basic morals of like how to interact with other people in the world. And the Bible is based on a religion, just like many other religions, but the Bible is the biggest one in Western culture. That establishes the basic morals of how people should interact with each other. So having a ton of overlap of the Bible and morals you teach the children is the most boring and uninteresting take I've ever heard. Like no shit.
Well, here's the thing. Early fandom, like I'd say 2010 to 2012, they came predominantly from 4chan, so they were aggressively atheistic. So that might be why it's sort of a hot take. It might be an outdated hot take. I don't know if
but
that's
it's
the
a
case.
trick in your mind. People think it's a hot take because MOP in the Bible, it's a Christian show. It's like, no, it's just basic human morals. The Venn diagram of basic agreed upon human morals and the Bible's morals is almost a circle. They line up pretty freaking close.
Yeah. I mostly agree. I would have to look through every episode, but yeah, not a particularly hot take. Not a particularly unpopular opinion.
That exception part is.
I gotta get Shady Oak on this show, because Shady Oak does he actually takes does Bible study based on the episodes and things like that. You should watch his videos. He's one of my patrons. So
I'm somewhat familiar with him.
And he's done most of the episodes. You know what I should ask him is how Fall Weather Friends is biblical.
That would be interesting, because given the fact that I'm a Christian myself, and that episode, it has a good moral. I just don't like how it was executed.
I guess the episode where they tell you to praise Odin for every meal, I guess that one kind of contradicts. That was an interesting episode of My Little Pony.
The one where they had to sacrifice a lamb to set in order to get a good harvest. That was
and make a golden calf, and they had to worship that. That was that's a little outside.
It was really funny when Applejack got mad and smashed those tablets on the side of the mountain there, though. That was funny.
And Pinky called it Mount Say Hi. That was adorable.
Oh my word!
We are all going to hell. I'm gonna have to say a rosary after tonight. Thaddeus Risher, who's also been blowing up the chat tonight, says Applejack is a boring character. And
Get my gun.
How freaking dare you?
All right, show yourself out.
How dare?
Moon Dancer is a man-child. I guess I wouldn't take it that far, but yeah, she definitely She definitely took a minor rejection way too gosh darn far.
She's neither a man or a child.
Yeah, but she acts like she. Never mind.
I get the sentiment.
Yeah,
this is funny. A peanut is neither a pea or a nut. It's a lagoon.
Scootaloo is the best Cutie Mark Crusader.
No, Sweetie
Yes.
Belle.
I'll take that one.
No,
I'll take Scootaloo.
definitely Scootaloo.
Yeah.
Why Scootaloo though?
She's just
Because
fun.
of awesomeness.
I mean,
Nah.
she's the
Sweetie Belle's
most
better.
she's the most athletic and physically capable. I mean, despite everything that's for sure. Apple
Sweetie
Bloom.
Belle is the least capable. Sweetie Belle is backpacked by her two friends. Like she doesn't have skills in anything.
She does try the hardest, and she does trade the voice of reason spot with Apple Bloom depending on the situation.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because sometimes Apple Bloom's the one that can figure things out, but other times Apple Bloom will go
Apple
off
Bloom
the
is the
rails.
most skillful of all of them.
Sweetie seems to be the most intelligent, at
Yeah.
least school-wise, academic-wise.
Yep. Let's see what else we've got here.
Wait, he also says the times they are a changeling is the best episode of the series, and I have no problem with the ending. Isn't that the one where Thorax was introduced?
Yeah.
And where Spike sings that song where the spotlight just follows him.
And that my ears
I'm-
bleed.
That
It's not.
episode is-
It's not-
goes
Is
pretty
that him
good.
improving the national anthem?
No,
Is
that was-
No, it's
No,
not.
that's
It's
Equestria.
where,
That's
where,
Equestria
like, he
Games.
sings
Oh, yeah.
sings like about Thorax being like good, and then like immediately everybody trusts his Thorax after the song that I cannot get through.
It sounds something like a changeling can change.
They could have. Yeah, I think just dropping the song, and if they would have instead done like a montage showing Thorax earning their trust, I would be like, I'm okay. Okay.
A
Better
changeling,
episode, but as it
changeling,
is,
no
it's
matter how small.
eh. Like it's like it's not horrible, but it's not great either. It's just
It's not-
the
not
guards,
great.
the Crystal Guards did like pretty good. It's like, okay, good job on you guys. You
I
guys
like
got a
Thorax.
better showing than Celestia's cards.
The episode is good in that I like Thorax.
Thorax is neat.
Yeah.
I do like Thorax, and I mean, this is somewhat of a hot take of itself. Again, I think Spike deserved way better in general. I think he got way too much crap in this show.
Yeah, he got the story into the stick a lot because he was way more mature and responsible than he had reason to be for his age. He was really mature and responsible, and he didn't get enough credit for that.
We're
And
talking
had a
about
lot
Spike or Thorax still.
Talking about Spike.
Spike in general.
Well, he was raised as Twilight's handmaiden. So what do you expect?
Yeah.
They grew up
Yeah,
quick
exactly.
like
Honestly,
that.
the song in the
he didn't get
episode
credit
grew on
for
me
it.
after a while. After a few watchings, I started to like it.
Okay.
But I have been seeing that sentiment there. I have no problem with the ending. I'm not sure if he's talking about the show or the episode, but I keep seeing
I think
a
he means the episode.
growing dislike for the ending of the show.
Let's see here. We've got Master Code saying Dragon Quest is the worst episode, so there's some contrast for us here.
That's not a hot take. I think a lot of people agree.
I think a
I
lot of people are dead frickin' wrong.
I think it's a
Yeah,
fairly prestigious episode,
yeah.
so that makes it not unpopular either way. It's actually contested. It's the opposite of an unpopular opinion. It's contested.
Cordero, I'm gonna steal some words that you said about Starlight Glimmer like years ago in a conversation. And say Dragon Quest is art. No matter you said that about Starlight Glimmer a long time ago because there's so much controversy and discussion as to whether or not she's a good character. We can say the same thing for Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is art because it has this effect on us. Let's see here. Speaking of Starlight Glimmer, we got Zeldin Wolfgang saying, I don't think Starlight Glimmer is that great of a character, and I find her overrated, and she's my least favorite character. Okay, so
Ow.
you and about half of the fandom, I would guess.
She is a very controversial character, especially when she was first redeemed and everything. At the
Talk
end
about
of season
contested.
5. Yeah,
Talk about-
very
that's
contested.
probably the
I-
most 50-50. She's probably the most 50-50 character in the whole show. Like half of the people love Starlight Glimmer, half people hate him. I love it. Like it's fine to hate Starlight Glimmer, but I love when people who hate Starlight Glimmer are like, I find her overrated. How is she overrated when she has a 50% hate rate? Like, how is that overrated? Like, you can't have it both ways.
I think what he means. I think what he means is that the people who like her really like her, and I can for the most part I like Starlight Glimmer. I
do
dare say
too.
she could be a contender as like possibly one of my top 5 favorite characters of the show. Definitely top 10.
I wouldn't say that. Starlight Glimmer, even for her most staunch supporters, they're like, yeah, she had a learning curve. She made some mistakes along the way, but I support the effort, right? It's not like it's like you can't say the same thing about Sunset Shimmer because then all the Sunset Shimmer tards come out of the woodwork and go, "Ree!"
You rang.
I like both
Is
Starlight
Paxton
and I
around
like
here?
Sunset both.
Is
almost
Paston Alice
almost
around here?
equally.
No, he's not. But on a side note, Pastonalis has listened to Cordero's debate with Scan, and now he wants a one-on-one with him because he hates both of your takes on
Good.
it actually.
But at least Paston Alice and I both like Sunset Shimmer, so we can just argue about aspects of her instead of whether she's good or not, because
Right.
that would be too rehashy to go over that again.
Yep.
He hates my headcanon.
I just really like Starlight Glimmer because I think one of the reasons why I like her is because she has a bit of a rebellious nature, like willing to go against the typical bland
If
norms.
the rules
that
get in the
things
way
do.
of doing a good job, she ignores the rules, which is a philosophy
Slap that book.
which is a philosophy that I have lived by myself. And
I like
and-
the crazy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I've been in situations where the law would otherwise prevent me from doing a good job, and I don't care. So I can definitely
She's
relate
just very
to that.
she's very believable.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Like, okay, her redemption I think was hastily handled, and I do have some problems with it. But her as a character is like pretty much from season 6, 7 onward. I just really like her character.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I see Autumn Breeze in the chat saying I'm actually a dude. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't know, but yeah, you got that whole female OC. You're doing the same thing Evan Bernardi from MS3TK does, and
The
drives
wooden
me nuts.
toaster.
Yeah, that
I mean,
too.
yeah.
Okay, second to last one from Twitter is another patron and a very talented artist, Aleximus Prime, saying the origin of the elements of harmony, while interesting, was kind of poorly written. The writer should have made them more mysterious and have them been a force that's present since the beginning of them, not created by a wizard. I don't think they were really created by Star Swirl. I think he just sort of made sort of
the seed.
Yeah, he planted a seed. He made the conduit for them to appear and manifest in physical forms because they connect to I would say the very fabric of Equestria, which is the magic, and the magic is fueled by the friendship, and the friendship is what fuels the magic.
Okay, this is bringing a question in my mind, if I may ask the more creative people in the group here. It's a little off topic, but I need to know this. I always hear this complaint, especially in the Pony Show, when a mystery is solved in the show, and I always hear people complaining, now the mystery is gone, it's no longer interesting. Is that not the point of a mystery to be solved? Am I missing something here?
Is that all? The question is that all there is to it? Is it like a kiddie pool, but first painted black so you can't see the bottom of it, but then you stick your hand in and it only goes up to the wrist? How much depth there? Yes, you can figure out how something works, but is there more to learn?
Yeah. Also,
but the complaint is always the mystery is gone. It's never what happened from the mystery was bad. It's always the mystery is gone. Like, I don't get it. I don't get the complaint.
What were you
There's
saying,
I've heard some
Cordero?
There's some things being conflated here because that's assuming that it was set up to be a mystery to be solved. Yes, things that are set up to be a mystery to be solved probably should be solved by the end of the series. But saying that the mystery has been removed just means that you've removed the ambiguity from something. And there's a lot of things that are lore based, or world building based, that the ambiguity of them actually makes them stronger. And that's what people mean when they say that you've removed the mystery of something. They don't mean that, oh, you shouldn't have solved that mystery to begin with. Because saying solve that mystery implies that there was a question being asked. There wasn't a question being asked with the elements of harmony. That they're mysterious because they're powerful, and that's a good way to leave it. Like nobody asked the question, where did they come from? That was never a thrust of the show.
I actually didn't mind them explaining where it came from. They probably could have explained a little bit better because, like, a part of me was thinking, like, okay, so like Star Swirl just captured the magic from like his friends there and created this seed, when they were gonna trap Stygian, or was it that he found like crystals and he enchanted their magic into it? Well, like he found like this crystal and they enchanted it into that crystal before they did the thing, or but like I really don't mind it when like something's explained.
All
I'm
right.
imagining that Star Swirl just found a physical way to manifest the magic of friendship, because with the Wendigo, you go all the way back to the founding of Equestria. The Wendigo situation and stuff like that implies that the magic of friendship exists. It's a force, it's a power within this universe that can be harnessed by pony kind. So rather than Star Swirl invented the elements of harmony or created them, he just created a physical manifestation to use as a conduit for the magic of friendship, because that was something that Star Swirl was really good at, was taking magic and innovating with it.
Okay. Like that there makes sense. Yep, yep, because like we did see with like the heart swarming of like that there of like the magic just like erupting out and forming like that their heart that had that
Yeah.
then dispersed the Wendigos.
Yeah, they didn't need the elements of harmony for that. They were just harnessing the raw magic of friendship at that point without a conduit.
All right. Last one from Twitter here. U.S. Armed Forces Stan account. Okay, this is almost certainly somebody's alt. You gotta share. You gotta care. Is the worst song in the show. Ooh, yes, it is pretty bad, but it's also contending with Spike's rendition of the Cloudsdale National Anthem and A Changeling Can Change, and and I don't know. I don't like most of the music in this show.
Also, for that song, that's the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
we
I
have
did-
come to an
I don't
agreement.
count-
Get food.
It's hard to count songs that are purposely bad.
We've come to an agreement. That was the worst thing we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I can actually withstand you got to share, you got to care. I can withstand that, but Spike's Cloudsdale and Changeling Can Change just
That was
no, it's just cringe for me. Like no.
Cloudsdale song was painful to sit
Very,
through.
and I think that was
I thought it was
intentional, and
funny.
if it was intentional, they did excellent
It was-
at it because
the
I
joke-
couldn't even look at the screen. I felt so bad for him. I'm
It
like,
went on too long. The joke was
Yeah.
good. He needed to be hooked off the stage sooner.
I
It was like
I do-
what was it, like 40 seconds of
It
that?
was horrible, man. There were
It
like
needed to be 4 seconds.
there were
It
like
needed-
3 whole verses. I think that
Yeah.
I think Kathy Westlock improv'd.
It was
And
a
that's why-
4-second
and that's why I
joke
like
that they
that-
dragged
and
out
that's
for
why-
40 seconds.
And that's why I like that scene, because I think like as bad as I feel for Spike, I will agree. I will fully admit that scene was actually kind of funny because it was so comedically executed, and
If
I
I
think
wanted-
Kathleen Westlock just improvised it just brilliantly.
If I
So
wanted
that was our
to
Andy
torture,
Kaufman moment. Is that what you're saying? Is like the Andy Kaufman brilliance of Spike? Just
if I wanted to torture myself with that level of cringe humor, I'd watch The Office.
oh yeah,
Oh,
Wow.
now there's a hot take.
Wow.
I agree with you, but that is the hot take.
I'd rather watch the Cloudsdale anthem on repeat than watch The Office. It's a bad
Holy-
show.
I think I agree here that I do not like The Office. I think I'd rather cringe at Spike's improv version for the Cloudsdale anthem, or
Yeah.
Changeling Can Change before The
I-
Office.
I have no opinion because I've barely watched The Office.
Save your brain cells.
You're
It's
doing
a-
well.
My take,
Keep it up.
my take on this song thing is any of the MLP songs that are less than a minute are bad.
Let's
wait,
see
wait.
here.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the audience.
I will wiggle my tail.
participation.
Oink oink oink. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's
like that was
proceed.
Okay, so we got to move on to the audience participation segment here. So I've been watching the chat, and I picked one hot take from each person that I saw give one. So if you guys saw something that I didn't see, we'll get to that one too. But we got a lot here. Rusty Helm 93, who's been just spamming the unpopular opinions, and I don't know if he actually feels this way or if he's been trolling us the whole night. Flurry Heart is the best princess. Okay, now that Brony should be properly heated, we can get started. Yes, you can get that troll crap out of here. You see, it would have worked if I didn't know you were trolling. You played your hand too far from the chest, and I was able to see it.
I will
made that
say
joke
this.
like 4 months ago.
I will say this: Flurry Heart is the princess with the most potential.
I'll agree to that. Like Flurry Heart is not best princess, but I will agree she has gotten too much hate.
A 30-year-old basement dweller has a lot of potential too. That doesn't mean anything happened with it.
You know who doesn't have enough hate? Zephyr Breeze.
I would be curious to see how Flurry Heart would actually rule, because she'd have to learn from Cadence, who had to learn it on the fly.
Well, then you can go read Aleximus Prime's Flurry Heart story fanfic.
Shameless
I
plug.
don't read too much into fan fiction. I just sometimes I've just restarted proofreading Equestrian City, so
I should show you some of his art connecting to his fanfiction. They're really nice.
I'm curious.
Alrighty then.
Well, the art aspect. As I said, I don't really read too much fan fiction.
Okay, so let's move on here. Let's see. Oh, I just tried to paste something and it didn't work.
that's a troll
Fanatic
take.
1 says, unpopular opinion. Adult Spike was a bad design. Smolder at least looks like what you would expect from a dragon design. Okay, so we got to ask this. I don't know if Aspie Fanatic 1 is still in the chat, but are we talking about Adult Spike from his Diamond Dog
I assume the finale.
fantasy, or I
I think they're talking about series. They're talking about
The one
series
that's
finale,
canon.
and I disagree. I think I think Spike's grown-up design I think is all right, and honestly, Smolder barely looks any different.
I actually don't remember. What
She just
Smolder-
looks taller.
Yep. Like I actually liked Spike's like proper grown up design at like the end of the series. It was very nice, and it showed of what like proper nurturing of a dragon can like result in as compared to Secret of My Excess. And Garble's design and like Smolder's design, she looked kind of taller. Still like nice though, but
All right.
Very quick hot take here. Smolder is my least favorite of the students.
I like to believe that Spike went for the body that he wanted, because it is very similar to his old dream self.
I did notice that. It seemed
Imagined
like a callback to
rescuing
it.
Rarity.
Yeah.
So he built the body he wanted, Brony. You should be proud of the boy.
I am. I don't.
he built the body already.
I don't agree with this person. I think it was a great design.
But is he natty? Is Spike natty? Or is he on the naughty sauce?
Nobody's gonna get that, Cordero. Oh, jeez.
Is he on steroids?
There we go.
I just saw it.
As opposed to his fantasy version, which skipped leg day too much. We need to get him on some. I need to teach adult Spike Seiyunchin is what I need to do.
He's got wings. What does he need legs for?
Yeah, Thaddeus Risher says, unpopular opinion, the Maud couple is a good episode. I don't know. I've never heard anybody say it was a bad episode, and I certainly don't think so myself.
Yeah.
I've heard mixed things about it. I don't mind it myself, but I do know some people are not.
It's because of Mudbriar, isn't it?
Yeah. Mudbriar's not particularly well liked.
Well, technically, the Maud couple is not really an episode. It's more of a musical rhapsody, and I don't know where I'm freaking going with this.
There's not a song in that episode.
Technically, all speech is musical because you have to follow a pattern of language.
Stick in the Mudbriar actually being kind of an annoying character or a grating on you character. It's that's actually kind of the point of the episode, which I think is really brilliant to make him actually annoying to the audience too, because the whole point was like, hey, you need to learn how to get along with people, rather you click with them or not. Like this is someone that Mod cares about, that's all that matters. He doesn't have to be the coolest guy in the world. So making him grate on the audience a little bit on purpose sort of drives that home. Like yeah, he is annoying. They're right. Oh, but you kind of got to get over yourself.
Yeah, and I think DWK brought that to the front beautifully.
Yeah.
As a fan of the Big Bang Theory, it was very nice seeing Sheldon cross borders.
Okay, so DJ is officially banned from my server for liking the Big Bang Theory.
The Big Bang Theory,
You'll
for
get
what
over it.
episodes I saw were actually kind of entertaining. I didn't see too many episodes, but I did see.
Okay, so Alisia is also banned.
Watch a cut of it without the laugh track.
It was kind of cute. I thought like some of the episodes were kind of cute.
Watch any
the
show without the laugh track.
Yeah, and you'll find that every joke fails without them telling you to like laugh, please.
Your Jedi mind tricks won't work on me.
I think I saw that
Please
video.
clap.
Colin Brown says the breezes were unnecessary as character development for Fluttershy, who herself has never grown more than marrying Discord. Now that
this is a weird.
I disagree with that.
This is a weird take because I don't know if this is a hot take for me or not, but that episode in general, the breezes in general, I think got way too much hate. Like a lot of people didn't like them, and I thought the episode was pretty good. Like it ain't easy being breezes. I think that's probably the one episode that I like, but everyone else seems to despise.
That was like
accents.
a good episode, and like it was very cute.
I was offended by that accents.
It was cute.
It was adorable.
It was cute, and it had a very good moral.
Their Swedish chef accents.
I love the Swedish chef accents.
Yeah, now it's not a perfect episode. Like I'll admit, like the first third is a bit clunky, especially with the exposition and everything. But other than that, I thought the rest of the episode was pretty good. I thought it was pretty solid. What was the hot take from the comments again?
That it was that the breezes were unnecessary as character development for Fluttershy, who has never grown more than marrying Discord. They weren't bad. They were unnecessary.
I disagree because here's the thing. Like, yeah, you probably could use some other character or something or whatever to teach the same lesson, but I think that's just one way to do it. Teach, you can kill. You could do more harm than good by being too kind.
Exactly. That's the lesson.
It was a good message.
And Fluttershy needed to learn that, otherwise she would have kept having problems with that idiot brother of hers.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool, too.
I disagree with people who say that Fluttershy didn't grow as a character. Like just because she didn't become Alpha Chad, social butterfly, doesn't mean she didn't grow. Like you see as the seasons go on, she gets better at voicing her opinions, standing up for herself, saying no. Like you see that in like her daily conversations, that when she's not the front of the episode.
She didn't end season 9 going, ooh, I'd hate to be you right now because we're gonna rain down a world of hurt unless I get my money pronto.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
and like these
pony
people
life.
needed that to happen to Fluttershy to be able to recognize the character growth. Like she's still going to be mild mannered. Like,
maybe a little bit sassy and sarcastic every now and then. I'm a year older than you.
that was season 1.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm from 2010 or something.
And it's the only reference to their age that we ever get.
I don't remember that.
What episode was that where like Fluttershy told like Rainbow Dash no, stomped on her stomach, and then
Dragon
daintily
Quest.
opened up the
Dragon
window
Quest.
and ran out.
Yeah, because she was afraid of the dragons.
Yeah, that. It's just like thinking, I said no, stomp, daintily open up window and jump out with the little
She punched Rainbow. She punched Rainbow to the floor and then curb stomped her and then jumped out.
That's hilarious.
You gotta be sure.
Fluttershy should have gone into MMA at the end of the series. That was her.
Fluttershy should have gone into MMA at the point she was suplexing bears. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
just like
was just
Grandma.
therapy.
What a
Physical
takedown.
therapy.
Yeah.
Why did you have to pick like now and not to be a scaredy pony?
Yeah, all right.
You have so much tension.
I have an interesting comment. Or I found one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Zap the Fourth or Zap Fourth says, unpopular opinion. Magical Mystery Cure is not only a good episode, it's the best episode of MLP. It paved the way to future MLP musical episodes. I 90% agree. I don't know about it being the best episode of MLP, but Magical Mystery Cure is great. It did pave the way to doing like full musical episodes, which were all fantastic, and I love the musical numbers and like the big musical moments where they treat the show like a musical in the show. So fun that they do that, and I think that Magical Mystery Cure gets a lot of guff, not just because Princess Twilight, but the second thing people complain about is saying that Magical Mystery Cure is rushed or that it goes too fast. It's a musical. Musicals are told in compressed time, and this is the first time that MLP was expressed fully through music. So that gives you the ability to go through stuff faster because you're doing it in song. It's like these people have never seen musicals before. You can cover a lot of plot in a 3-minute song that you would need more time to pace out with just regular dialogue.
What's it like going through life with such horrible opinions?
I actually liked Magical Mystery Cure too, and I enjoyed the songs. Not so much Twilight's slow, sad song of "I Gotta Find a Way." That there is like alrighty, but I liked the songs in it for the most part, and it was good. It did feel a tad rushed, but I do get how musicals work because I've seen old Disney musicals, so people talk about that episode as if they yakety sax through the plot. That's how people talk about that episode, and it's yakety sax was horrible.
Yakety sax was awful.
That was so badly done. Lovely. I don't even remember what the message was, but I remember okay, horrible execution.
We've come to an agreement. Yakety sax is the worst thing we've ever seen.
Agreed.
I can't say.
I would add help of
there.
information in there, but yes.
All right, Emerald Spencer's. I'm sorry, Sazer. What's up?
I was gonna say, as for Magical Mystery Cure, I haven't seen it in years. I'd have to watch it again. But from what I can remember, it's not so much that it's rushed or that it's a musical. It's just the way the story is told. Even musical aside, I just think the way the story is told is kind of weird in the way it's telling the story. It's like almost nothing is explained. Like it's just stuff just sort of happens, and you don't really.
I watched that
so
episode
weird.
once.
It's so weird. It's like
I watched that episode once.
I'd have to watch it again.
It made me so mad that I left my house, turned around. I tried to slam my door, but it bounced off the lock that it closes in on, and that was like just the last straw of frustration that I could handle from that episode. And I headbutted the door clean off the hinges, and then I went to work. And
wow,
yeah,
impressive.
Impressive.
Let's see here.
As someone who started with Equestria Girls, having Magical Mystery Cure bringing in the real Twilight was a relief.
Yeah, you guys aren't. Most of you out in the stream there aren't in my Discord server. That is one of DJ's favorite things to do. Is he'll come up to me and go, "But Brony, Twilight always had wings," and then I. And then I post
she had wings longer than she didn't.
And then I post that GIF of the Hulk grabbing Loki by the ankle.
CUNY Patreon.
Yeah, so Emerald, we got to move on here. Emerald Spencer says, on an unrelated note to ragging on each other, because we were talking about bullies earlier. He goes, "How many wing ups can Brony do?" Okay, so here's the thing. I do these things called kettlebell push-ups, where you stick 2 kettlebells on the ground, and you grab them by the handles, and you do push-ups like that, right? And they're rather difficult. Yeah, they're a little bit more difficult than your standard push-up because you really got to tighten up and balance. They take a lot more energy. So here's what's going to happen. I think I can. The last time I really tried, I did like 15. that without any sort of modifications. So I'm gonna do 15 wing ups with your freaking wings, Emerald. Okay, I'm just gonna take them right off of you and stick them in the ground and do kettlebell wing ups on your wings. That's how that's gonna go down. Next one is Picademo saying, unpopular opinion, Derpy is overrated.
Yeah.
I enjoy Derpy, but I
a
haven't
little
looked
bit.
into a lot of all the fan stuff about her, so I don't really know. I think like she's an adorable character.
Yeah.
She
I
is
like
she is a
Derpy.
cute, lovable character. She
Yeah.
essentially pretty much just became the Brony mascot.
I like Derpy, but Derpy worship got old. I got burnt out on Derpy worship.
After I've heard so many versions of the story as to why she got changed in the last roundup that at this point I really just don't
I
know
don't
what
care.
went wrong.
I don't care anymore.
How dare you step over my joke?
I will say this much: as cute and sweet as Derpy is, I will say her stealing the spotlight from Applejack in the last roundup ticked me off.
Yeah, you and about half the fandom. So that's all we have for the for what I saved on the audience participation. Did anybody else notice anything from the chat that they wanted to touch on?
Alisia posted a couple things in the Discord chat here from other people.
All right, let's hear it,
One
Alisia.
says- Go ahead.
Okay, so first one I copied over is from Pika Demos.
Yeah, Picademos. I just read that one.
It says like unpopular opinion. John Delancey is a so-so actor.
Yikes.
I disagree.
I disagree with that because I was very okay. So I didn't even know who like Delancey was before I watched like Josh Scorcher's review of the season 2 opener, and he pointed out like his cue, and it's just like, oh, okay, so Star Trek thing. All right.
He's a discount Mark Hamill.
I
What?
think he did
What?
like very excellent as Discord. I enjoyed his voice work. Didn't always enjoy how sometimes he was written. A matter of principle, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I thought he was good, so I disagree with him being so-so.
Yeah,
I don't-
John Delancey is great. I geeked out so hard, just like everyone else did, when he showed up as Discord.
Yeah,
I wasn't a Trekkie, unlike you, gosh darn nerd. So Discord
yeah, I
was
was.
I am
Discord
not a
was my
Trekkie.
Discord
I'm
was
not
my
tricky either.
Discord was my introduction to John Delancey.
Same here.
We're a lot of people.
Yeah, I got to meet him. I got to meet him in person once, and he's an all right guy. He's a cool guy.
Oh.
I recognized him immediately, like because when I was introduced to the show in 2012, and I got to the start of season 2, I was watching it with Chris, Brony, our friend Chris, and both me and him like in unison we're like that's cute, like what? And then we looked it up and we were right, and we just freaked out for like the next 8 hours or something over how awesome that was.
So
I'm just amazed that he stuck around all the way till the end of the show.
Yeah,
they kept giving him money.
paycheck. Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude,
They
voice
must have been paying
actors
him.
and voice actors love consistent gigs because like that's hard to get where like you keep coming back and voicing something. That's a great setup to have.
Okay, so and what's this one by Thaddeus Risher that you saved, Alisia?
It says like unpopular opinion. Yona is overrated.
Yona kicked your ass.
That's another answer. Okay, I'll say this much. Yona probably is my favorite of the students, but I'll say as much. You're not Thaddeus is not entirely wrong. She is a little overrated.
Yona is by far the dumbest of the Student 6 group, but there's some sort of twisted wisdom in that dumbness where she can come at any situation like, why are you guys overcomplicating everything for yourselves? It should be so much simpler.
I think a
So
friend
she's
of
Brony.
Yeah, I think a friend of mine once said that he just likes her design so much because she's like a big puppy dog.
Yeah, Yona I had found to be like a neat character, very like she kind of was like a puppy and she's like doll. And I also like the more simple take and whatnot, kind of like with like the other ones were like bickering and stuff with like the when the Tree of Harmony got like destroyed and then like she was like Yak's like smashed and like rebuilt and it's just like yeah, because when something gets destroyed you just continue on because I don't know
Yeah.
I thought like a nice character. I don't know about the overrated part, but
There's so much strength in her simplicity. Like intelligence is like literally overrated for a character like that because it's because like you touched on Bronny, she has a wisdom to her where she can just like get back to basics and see the path through. You know, when people get bogged down in the details.
would that be like common sense or street sense? I don't
Yeah.
know the things.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
And she was pretty much the only redeeming quality of the axe.
Yeah, definitely to a certain degree. Did anybody else have anything from the chat that they wanted to touch on tonight?
I didn't see anything in chat.
I saw one last one that might be a good one to end off on because it's probably somewhat of a troll.
All right, let's hear it.
From Pika Damos, unpopular opinion, Gen 3.5 was better than FIM.
That is a very unpopular opinion.
LOL.
I know. I have one. I have one friend who could possibly agree with that.
Your friend is wrong.
I'm still tempted to invite him here.
All right.
And he would be more than happy to wreck you.
Oh, okay. A challenge. I like that.
Oh, jeez, it's like Bronny's a Saiyan.
Oh, jeez. I'm just saying I'm ready to dole out some pain. Okay, so you know something I realized is I never gave my unpopular opinion for tonight. So, and I think it's a good one to end on because let me tell you something. I've got a lot of unpopular opinions. When I was conceptualizing my channel, because I wanted to do the whole Brony debates angle there, and part of it was that I had a lot of opinions that went against the grain of most other popular reviewers of the time. We're talking the 2012 sort of era when analysis was first popping up. So one of the names that I was mulling over calling myself was the unpopular opinion guy, and I've got a lot of them. But I think the one that will be less likely to get me canceled on Twitter would just...
Dude, good luck there.
Yeah, would be that Luna is overrated. And
I can kind of see where
we
because
gave her
Luna
too
does
much-
have a
Silver Brigade.
lot.
we gave her too much screen time for no reason. We didn't balance her out with Celestia. She is
It's
just
because
she's given
it's
too
because
much.
she was flawed.
She's given too much love by the fans. Well, I mean, shoot, we could have seen just the same amount with Celestia if they had given Celestia the screen time that Celestia actually deserved after successfully running a peaceful kingdom for 1,000 years by herself.
Why they didn't want to give her flaws.
Princess Luna is overrated.
As much as I love Luna, I actually can kind of agree with that. I think she is a little overrated.
Princess Luna has the same problem Derpy does. The fan worship got grating.
She whenever she's involved in any Equestria Daily poll, she always wins by default.
Yeah, and that's the night will last forever and the Luna Republic. All of that was cringe as fuck.
Yeah, how about you, the new Lunar Republic, and how about you bronies go to bed? Go to bed at a reasonable hour, wake up during the day and get some vitamin D for once in your gosh forsaken life. Take off the fedora, maybe the oil will dry out of your hair.
Oh,
And
now
then
you're railing against third shift. Now we have a problem.
And then you'll realize how good the sun is.
I shall continue my late.
I see Princess
Thank you,
Heather Blossom in the
early
chat going, what about me? You're fine. You go to bed at a reasonable hour, and at least you like the other princesses too. So
Yeah. Yeah, I want to like Celestia a lot more, and I want to like Cadence a lot more.
Yeah, there's a difference between someone who admires Luna and a member of the New Lunar Republic, and I don't think that's you, Heather. Okay, so with that being said, I look forward to an honorable death by the lynch mob.
No. The one that's going
That
to
was-
die from the one that's going to die from a lynch mob is me, because I'm the one. I'm probably the biggest Applejack defender in the fandom.
Mm.
There's like
I-
3 Applejack defenders here.
Yeah,
at minimum.
because that guy from Twitter, I forgot who it was, who said that Applejack is a boring character. On one hand, I disagree, because I really do like Applejack. I love what she stands for and everything. But at the same time, I can't really argue with the fact that she probably is the least entertaining.
Actually, you know what? I've got one
disagree, but we're
more.
out of time.
I've got one. We've been out of time for 44 minutes, but I've got one more real quick because I just can't hold it in anymore. Lyra is a bad ship. Get that trash out of here. Okay, so
Lies and slander.
No comment.
I have no feelings one way or the other. I again, just like with Riverjack, I don't care. Or like the Dash one. Yeah, I really don't care either way.
I'm too old. The samurai say a man loses all chance of dying beautifully before after he's 40. I'm almost there now, so freaking bring it. Okay. So thanks for everybody for tuning in. Guys, did you learn anything tonight?
I think so.
Yeah,
That apparently we're all wrong and Bronny's always right.
Exactly. That's a great lesson. You should take that lesson to heart for the rest of your life.
I've already forgotten it.
How freaking dare you?
Except when it comes to Dragon Quest, then Bronny is dead wrong.
Well,
And then
Is anyone right about Dragon Quest?
one thing I learned for certain is that the chat is very good at coming up with unpopular opinions, because I was reading all of them tonight and there were some very unpopular opinions in there.
You should do this one again. Like we didn't even
part
tap
two?
the well. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, there's tons of unpopular opinions that people could come up with.
Yep. And we got Princess Heather Blossom in the chat just insisting about being the best princess. Okay, so Sazer, did you have fun tonight?
Yep.
All right, thanks for suggesting it. Did you learn anything tonight, Sazer?
Well, I've learned that you have a really bad opinion. I'll say that much. And
Too bad it's the only right opinion.
yeah, I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head.
All right,
but yeah, this was a good time.
Alicia, thanks for coming on. You were nervous about joining us tonight. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun, and it was not what my brain was making it out to be for an experience, and I did enjoy this.
All right. So, it's a Brony saying number one unpopular opinion. Brawny is popular. Actually, Alicia, did you learn anything tonight?
I've learned I have learned that like the series is divided up into three segment arc thingies. I have never heard anyone describe it their way, and that was pretty cool.
Nice. So thanks for doing that, Cordero and DJ. Cordero, did you have fun tonight, and did you learn anything?
I did have fun, and I learned that you had the least spicy, unpopular opinion of the 5 of us. Luna is overrated. Like, to the moon with that. That's so milquetoast.
Okay. Well, I guess it was a good thing I threw out the Lyra sucker punch at the end there. DJ, how about you? Did you have fun, and did you learn anything tonight?
Oh, this was a blast, and like I said earlier, I'm happy I'm not the only one that was thinking that the series could be divided into 3.
Yeah, and we had a pretty decent turnout tonight. I think we had like 30 people watching us at some point. So yeah, let's get those numbers up, guys. And I'm very grateful to everybody in the chat who came out, participated, watched the stream all the way through. Thank you so much for, giving me your time tonight. And I hope to see you on streams in the future. If you would like to get on this show and hang out with me and tell me how wrong I am, I'd love to have you on. We just need to get you on the Patreon for as little as $1 a month, where you get all the perks, such as getting into the Discord server where we hang out, spam memes at each other, and from there I can get you on the show if you're interested. You also get your suggestions for topics get priority, so I kind of like put those at the top of the queue for suggestions there. I'm extremely grateful to all of my very generous supporters on Patreon, especially those on the $10 and up tier, like DJ Skywalker, like Princess Heather Blossom, as well as Shady Oak Ministries, Sid McConroy, Autoknight, Emerald Spencer, Sodden, Girder, Senko, Kyle Christensen, DJ Skywalker, who I already said, but I'm just reading blindly here, Stephen A. Wilson, Rek, Rein-Kun, Princess Sunshine Sparkle, Bootleg Bard, and Dark Malcontent, the author of the Metaverse series. Please, for the love of God, check out all of their content links in the description. They make some pretty good stuff. And with that, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I hope you'll all join me tomorrow night at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Princess Heather Blossom's channel for Chaos and Crocheting, and next Friday for Friday Night Fights, where I fail at video games. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody. God bless. Stay safe out there. And I will see you all next time. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Fare thee well.
Good night, everybody.
And DJ finally got the timing right on that soundbite. And we're clear.